Welcome back for part 2 of Michael's C10. Last time you saw it, we were getting the truck into urethane primer. We have since prepped and painted it the correct body color. We matched it to the factory tan hue, whatever you want to call it. And being that we're a full-time hot rod shop and a very part-time YouTube channel, didn't get time to document that, but we just painted it like every other car here. Painted it apart and then put 3 coats of clear coat down and reblocked it, put everything back together. Now that we're ready to put the stripes down. So today we're gonna mask out the areas between the moldings and do the color scheme that runs in the moldings, between the moldings. And so miles and miles of tape, lots of patience on this step of the project to make sure all of our lines are nice and crisp, make sure we don't have any lifted tape edges and everything. So this is where the truck's really going to start to turn a corner and really get a solid personality. So what we'll do first is mask out the perimeter and then actually bag the truck up and cover most of the areas outside so that we can start measuring for the stripes. They're all different widths, so we're going to have to refer to the rendering to make sure that we're getting our widths correct, and because we like to stay as close to a rendering as possible. So here we go. All right, we're about, 3/4 of the way through taping the graphics, setting them up. Kind of got to do this by eye, referencing the rendering. So we'll go ahead and we'll print out the rendering that we have here and kind of use certain points on the truck to kind of eyeball where it needs to be. So you can, we use, you can see that the top intersects the light here. So, and these body lines, the body line on the truck kind of slopes down. The graphics are supposed to be level and parallel to each other. So you can't use the top. So you kind of have to eyeball it, use a little bit of experience using, referencing body lines and points on the tail lights and the tailgate. So we're going ahead here, and I'm almost done wrapping up this side. And then once we're wrapped up with the graphics, we'll cut all our seams. The doors will come off, the tailgate will come off and get hung, and everything is going to get painted separately. That way we can we'll actually take the bed and pull it back, and we'll terminate the stripes far in the panel as possible. I should say as far in on the panel as possible, so that you don't see the end. Try to take that little extra step to make it look nice and make it look, have that extra bit of detail. So a lot of tape. Again, this is FBS tape. I've talked about it in a previous video, the 61 Oldsmobile. This is FBS tape. It's, to me, the best stuff on the market. This is the orange tape, which is their most rigid tape. Since we're doing straight lines, when you're laying it, it doesn't sag. So it keeps its tension, keeps its straightness. So it helps us a lot with getting these nice, crispy, straight lines. So when you look down the side of the truck, it's not going up and down. So we'll wrap this up. We'll get everything done. We'll carefully put it down. We'll take our heat gun anywhere where we see, where it's gonna go into the jamb of the gas door. We'll make sure we heat gun it, because that'll actually relax the tape and let it form. Kind of like the exterior vinyl wrapping, you use heat to go into nooks and crannies, because there's nothing worse than a little bit of blowout where the tape didn't stick all the way. So we'll continue this, and then we'll move on to disassembling the truck for the paint and clear and all that fun stuff. All right, so the taping on the side is done. We actually, a little word of advice is the moldings are very thick. You can't really use the holes as a reference point as well. So we actually mocked up some of the moldings during the masking process to make sure that, you know, we wanted the same amount. These are supposed to be around the same thickness. So we had the molding, so it's actually, with the molding off, this is thicker than this, but once we get the molding on, these two will be pretty much the same and parallel. Just put that extra thought. You gotta look way far in advance when you're doing this kind of stuff to make sure that the final product is what you're looking for. So now that this is done, the doors will come off, the tailgate will come off, and we'll start masking off the jambs. All the termination points we'll actually tape off. We're going to tape off so that it makes the process of taping or painting the colors easier, less blow throughs if you terminate it just right here, so that you don't have to worry about overspray getting up in, you know, behind the paper and then back out. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that here. We'll wrap these little bits of tape around, tape the back, go in the jamb. You can look over here. You know, we're gonna wanna pull that graphic color all the way in the jamb about 1 inch. So we'll bring the fine line in each stripe all the way in, so that when the door's closed and you look in the jamb, you don't see the cream, you don't see that termination point. So we want to try to pull it in as far as possible. So that's the next step. Pull it apart and then mask up, cover up all this stuff, all the cream that's going to stay cream, and then start spraying some graphic colors. And there we have it. Truck is blown apart, ready for the graphics. And yeah, she's all masked up. We protected it. You don't want any of the color getting on the cream. So she's completely laid out. We have beautiful terminations through the jambs, even through the gas door jamb, to give it a really nice detailed look. We don't want any overspray. We don't want it looking like the factory did it. Usually the factory was pretty rough around the edges. We want it nice and tight. So we took our time to make sure that everything is well thought through, and everything's gonna look really good when it's all done. So next up is do a final clean and lay down some colors. So the paint is finished, it's all cleared, and like I mentioned, we are a very part-time YouTube channel, so off camera we've started the sanding and buffing process. Doors are done, all the parts are done, cabs done, fenders are done, beds done, and Dakota is working on the massive tonneau cover. Once we get that sanded and buffed, the stripes are actually going to get a flat clear over them to just kind of give it that nice contrast. So that concludes part 2. In part 3, we'll be addressing all the rest of the mechanical bits on the build. We are 3 weeks away from North Carolina Nationals. It is the end of March, and North Carolina Nationals is April 18th through the 20th. So come back and join us for part 3 to see the finished product.